If you're wondering why he doesn't stick around after sex, this video's for you. Stick around because we're going to talk about it. We're going to get to the bottom of why men leave after getting the cookie.
Looking at a legend in the flesh. Fresh about the kitchen to the check. Blew a quarter key on the set. Hold up. Pose. BB's in the chain looking wet. Deposit ain't hit the count yet. Shit ain't verified like my check. Hold up. Pose. Yeah. Pose.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiff with the T. And before we get started, subscribe, comment, like, do all that. You don't want to miss a video because I'm going to be posting every day for as long as I possibly can. So let's get into it. A question that you or your girlfriends may be having is, why is he not calling me back after I give it up? Why is he acting strange? And it's common for other girlfriends to give you the advice that, oh girl, you gave it up too soon. You only known him for a week. You only been with him for 2 months. You definitely slept with him too soon. Trust me, that's the first thing that's going to come out of their mouth. Oh, you should have waited. Your girl Tiff is here to tell you that's a lie. For a man, there is no such thing as giving it up too soon. The sooner the better. That is not the issue. That is a falsehood. I don't know who perpetuated that lie, but it's a lie. Men are not out here ghosting women because they got the cookie too soon. That's just a lie. I'm going to tell you the real. On this channel, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm going to let you know how you can improve to have better relationships with people. And so you can figure yourself out, sis, because who got time? The first thing that I would probably say is that if a man is not calling you back after sex, he probably doesn't see any chemistry, or he doesn't see anything beyond the physical level. You haven't shown him anything that would make him want to stick around. So it's just sex for him. So that would be the first thing. Women have gotten this idea in their head that men are all about sex. Like, sex can keep a man, sex can make or break a relationship, sex. As women, we've gotten into a misguided space of believing that men are not emotional. They may not be as emotional as us women. They still want to be able to connect with somebody. They want to be able to see that you have a personality. Yeah, we can roll around under the sheets all day, but can you have a conversation though? Do you have any substance? Like, can you cook? Do you know who the president of the United States is? Have you been anywhere? Have you traveled? What do you have to offer me besides sex? If a man doesn't see that you have anything to offer them, you guys don't really have anything to talk about, you don't have much in common, then they're gonna come do their thing and they're gonna leave. That's just common sense. Instead of me giving you the advice that next time you shouldn't jump into bed so soon, I'm gonna add on to that and tell you that you don't need to be sleeping with anybody if you don't know what their intentions are for you. If you haven't sat down to have a conversation about where is this going, or what are we doing, or who are you, or who am I? What do we got going on here? If you have not had that conversation, you really should not be spreading your legs to nobody, sis. Like, that's first and foremost. Don't put it on, oh, we had sex 2 weeks into it. Okay, that might be fine and good if you guys have been able to connect on some level. You've been able to have a conversation about what you're looking for, whether or not you want to be in a relationship, whether or not this is just sex. You have to have a conversation about that. Like, that's, to me, that's law. Like, there's no reason why you should be confused about why somebody is not calling you back, or what they expected versus what you expected, or what they're giving you versus your expectations. That shouldn't really, we should have moved past that at a certain point in our lives. So if you're not able to have the conversation of what are we doing, I don't really believe you should be sexting somebody who you can't even talk to on a basic level. Like, that's just me though. That's just me. Making yourself too available is not something that turns men off. Like, if he wants it and you're there, that's not an issue for a man. From a man's perspective, that's not an issue. If you're clingy, that is an issue. If it feels like, okay, you can't live without me, or you're only like, you're a sex freak, that's all you think about, or you don't have nothing going but sex, like, that's a turn off for men. If I was a man, I wouldn't want to call you back if all you do is objectify me. If you treat me like a piece of meat, like I'm a booty call, that's all I'm good for, you're probably not going to hear from me again. But that's just me. So men are people too. I always say communication is key. Doesn't matter if it's a situationship, if it's sex, if it's whatever relationship you have, communicate, communicate, communicate. You want to have an understanding of the other person. You want to have an understanding of what they want from you, what you want from them, and you want to be able to express yourself freely so nobody is caught up in anything they don't want to be caught up in. Ladies, we're so bad at this. When we see that a man is not interested, or we see that somehow he's distancing himself, or something doesn't work out the way that we plan, we automatically get into this mode of, okay, something's got to be wrong with me. I've done something to turn this person off, or this person is not into me because this ABC is wrong with me. We really need to change that mindset and start asking ourselves the right questions. First of all, how can I raise my standards so that I'm not so emotionally sold on a man after I have sex with him? Instead of saying, oh, what did I do wrong, or what could I have done to make this person stick around? How can I be less of that girl who, oh yeah, we've had sex, now let's get married, now let's jump into a relationship, and actually be someone, and instead be someone who has standards, so that sex is not the end all be all for me. That's a problem. If that sounds like you, then you need to analyze yourself, because something's not right within you. Another thing is, ladies, we need to stop seeing sex as something that we can be used for. Our sexuality is not something that should be able to be used by somebody else. For some of you guys, this is gonna sound a little bit crazy, but as women, we should not see our sexuality as something that can be used by a man. It should be something that we enjoy for ourselves. So ask yourself, how can I stop seeing my sexuality as that? Once you are able to answer this question, you're more comfortable in your sexuality, it's going to be something that you use freely. It's not going to be something that anybody can take advantage of. It's something that you're giving of yourself, something that you've come to an understanding of, and it's not going to be like something that can be marketed. Another question that we need to ask ourselves, instead of saying, why is he not calling me back? We should instead be asking ourselves, how can I raise my non-physical attraction? So instead of being the girl who has the banging body that everybody wants to sleep with, instead of aspiring to be that girl, why not aspire to be the girl who has something to say at every table, in every conversation? I have something intelligent to say. I am more than just my physical self. I am an intellectual. We need to get away from letting these men objectify us and put us into a box of physically attractive. But are you mentally attractive? Do you read books? Do you know about other cultures and languages? Because that's sexy to me. Are you a loving person? Are you giving? Are you kind? Are you spiritual? What else do you have going on? Let's take the emphasis off of physicality and make it more about your mentality. All right. I don't have anything else to give you. I have given all I could possibly give on this topic. If you enjoyed this content, of course, subscribe. I would love to have you. Hit the bell notification as well so that you will be informed anytime I drop a video, because baby, I'm going to be dropping it like it's hot. Keep up. I will see you in the next video.